and welcome to Season Quest. My name is Lucy. Somebody stop. How badly did I fuck it up?
No, I fucked it up. I threw my phone down while you're saying that.
This is impossible.
I guess Tom should introduce, right? Or...
No, because you've never done Season Quest before. We
That's
always introduce the people, then the game, and then the characters.
Sorry.
Baby's first Season Quest over here.
It's been so long since we started the season.
Okay.
Charlie, you start.
Hello, I'm Charlie, and I will be...
No, you're supposed to say, hello, welcome to Season Quest. My name's Charlie.
Baby first Season Quest. Hello, welcome to Season Quest. My name's Charlie.
Hi, I'm Troy.
I'm Lucy. Sorry, my face went.
I'm Lucy.
I'm Lucy. This sucks.
I'm Tom, and I'm going to be DMing this section of Homebrew'd. It's going to be my game. Last week we played Lucy's Law, or whenever last episode came out. This time around, we're playing a little game I like to call GORE.
Yeah.
GORE is a card-based game where everyone has a deck of cards and also a hand of cards, 7 cards in their hand, and things will happen. Some rules will be explained as we go, but some rules will not be. And we might post the rules document on Twitter depending on what goes on. It's kind of like the last half hour of Akira and Lord of the Flies, because everyone's a teenager and they all have mutant powers. Spoilers for the last half of Akira, but it's also from the 90s, so get over yourself, you damn dirty ape.
Read a book.
Watch an anime, read a manga.
Listen to a podcast.
And with that, let's go.
What's the world we're in?
You are in the... Huh? Earth.
Apocalyptic.
Earth, 2038. It's the post-apocalypse. The apocalypse happened where every adult and there was sort of like a virus or like a nuclear war or something. It's just called the event now, where pretty much every single adult has been turned into a deadly mutant with no brain, and most kids and teens are on the same sort of path. These 3 teens
Us.
Me.
And me.
live...
And her.
live, unlike a lot of other people who live in this terrifying post-apocalypse, they actually live with an adult in the woods. They live with 2 adults. We'll open in this sort of pretty Canadian wilderness. Yeah, birds tweeting, snow off a tree. Go. It's just starting to warm up, get kind of nice around here. And there's this nice wooden cabin.
If you need me to help with any snow sound effects.
I'm golden for that. Here's the sound effect of snow.
So true.
So true. He's spitting facts.
No, let him cook.
You guys would be home right now with the other people who live home with you, which is to say Mother, who is sort of like a surrogate mother, and a real mother for one of you, for your group, and then also Mother's 2 kids, Bernie and Redwing. Redwing is called Redwing because if you look close up at his hair, he's got little tiny feathers instead of hair.
No.
And Bernie is called Bernie because that is his name. He does not have any mutation yet. He is too young. About 7 and 11 are their ages. And chilling in their spaces, probably doing whatever they want, and you guys can describe it, is everyone else's character. So let's introduce everyone else's character. Starting with Lucy.
Hi, I'm Scraps. I am like 15, part lion, so I've got a big like lion's mane, which is very confusing because I'm a girl. And then I've also got sorry, Charlie just mouthed and pointed to himself, more excited than I've seen any human being. Me too. I have that same reaction anytime I meet another woman. Same. Anyway, and so yeah, I've got big mane, I got claws, I got sharp teeth, I'm pretty strong. And also, I eat trash. I would be outside, like, cutting up some wood and stuff for the fire, because even though it's starting to warm up, it's still pretty cold. Try to help out around the house.
Yeah, you got to help out. You're getting, basically, free lodging and food, so you got to do at least some fucking chores around here.
Yeah.
Come on.
I am.
Come on.
Get on with it.
Alright, Charlie, why don't you introduce your character? Sorry, I'm creaking a lot.
There's going to be some creakage.
The creak action going on, because we're in...
Dawson's Creek.
We're in very creaky chairs.
Yeah, and there's no other options, unfortunately. Just going to be Creek City over here. And I'm not talking about Schitt's Creek.
Good show though.
Yeah, it's first. Yeah, it's good.
You know what else will interest their character? Is doing the fucking Scraps show.
I'll go. My character's name is Visitor. She's, I'd say probably around like 16, 17. She was found by Moosehead in the forest, just sort of living out on her own. She would sort of wander into town every now and then for some supplies, and people just called her like the Visitor because her whole deal is that she's sort of ghostly, incorporeal. Her skin is a little bit translucent. That's her mutation. And she just sort of freaks people out with that. So that's why she wanted to live alone for a while until she got her own little found family. Currently, she's sitting on the roof, one of her favorite spots, and just like watching out in the forest for any approaching danger or anything. Very meerkat-like.
And there would be a lot of danger in this forest. You guys aren't really allowed to leave a certain area of the cabin because of how, like, I mean, the same shit that mutated. Excuse me. Sorry, that was a plane flying over in the world, not in real life, and it was also a car in real life.
I don't think there are planes in the world, are there?
Nah, who knows? Maybe the U.S. Army's still going on. They were there in War of the Planet of the Apes. War for the Planet of the Apes. Sorry, guys. Anyways, yeah, a lot of danger in these woods. Even in your area, sometimes you get it, but for the most part, it's taken care of. Like, it's not like, you know, that area is sort of well known to, I guess, the fauna as a bad time. But,
yeah, I guess Visitor is watching more out of habit than necessity.
Yeah, the deeper you go into the forest, the more you would encounter some creatures that, you know, alongside humans also got pretty mutated and pretty fucked up. So it is definitely a danger zone. Yeah, you, I mean, you're doing your job. You're keeping watch. You're looking. Maybe that should be your name. Looker. Looker do it.
It's a Pokemon character.
It is.
Last but not least, let's meet Troy's character.
It might be least. My character's name is
Least prepared, maybe.
Quaven. I'm the eldest child of mother and her husband. I assume they're married. Of course, yeah. And the older brother of Bernie and Redwing. I've got a pretty obvious deformation. It's a shark's head, like a hammerhead. They're really solid and sturdy either end of my face, so I can use it to fight people if I need to. Otherwise, at the moment, I'm currently just watching over my younger brothers and making sure they're not doing anything too stupid or dangerous, because they're meant to be helping mother prepare the meal, obviously, but
Yeah, but they're little shitheads.
they're little shits.
And you can't fit in the kitchen because you're a big hammerhead.
Exactly. My parents haven't, like, changed the arrangement of doors. I could turn on my side. And
Yeah, but that's a lot of effort.
it is.
You'd rather just be a hassle for everyone.
Exactly. And, like, I want to go hunting and scavenging into the forest with my father. I've gone once or twice, but he's found me and brought me back because I wasn't meant to be following him. But, you know, one of those times we managed to find Visitor, and now we've got a large found family of people around my own age.
Yeah, and it's kind of fun. You guys can hang
Yeah.
out and do stuff that, you know, even though world is shit, you guys at least have kind of a sense of almost normalcy with the way that, you know, you're not actively fighting. You're kind of just able to. You live in this cabin and you eat food and you can play outside and you can do all that. You just gotta not go into the forest and you gotta stay safe.
Even though we're kind of homeschooled but not schooled, I mean, you know, we've
Yeah.
still managed to have friends, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Friends? In this apocalypse?
And you, Visitor, would see walking through the forest a familiar sort of face, I guess. You could see the antlers before anything else. You see the father of this household, the matriarch or the patriarch? Which one's the
Patriarch.
patriarch? Matriarch is mum.
Ma and Pa.
Ma and pa. You'd see the patriarch.
Sorry.
You see the patriarch of the household walking through Moosehead. And Moosehead is a really quiet, sort of brooding guy. Always has this, like, skull of a moose that he's hunted over his face. He never even takes it off. Like, probably, you might have seen his face, Quaven?
Shock.
Chalk.
Shock.
You
Chalk.
might have seen his face, Chalk, like, when you were young.
I don't know if I've talked about this yet.
Yeah, did you say your nickname?
No, I didn't, but I mean, it's still unconfirmed. Like, he's working on it. You guys have cool nicknames, and at the moment he's going with Shork because he's a shark on the shore. But, like, he's still working on it.
Everyone just calls you short, and you're like, no, Shork, with a K.
Like dork?
Sure.
But yeah, you like might have seen your dad's face when you were young, but like as soon as the whole business started, the event,
Really settled in, you know.
the event, you kind of stopped seeing it, and you assume, even though you don't know, I mean, you know that you look fucked up. You know that your brothers look a little fucked up. You know that your friends look a little fucked up. You assume that your dad looks a little more fucked up. And Quaven, you probably wouldn't necessarily know this, but the other two, you would definitely know this. Because Quaven might not have left this cabin in a long time. These other two would know that pretty much every other adult has already become a full-blown mutant. Like, the chance of you meeting an adult with a functioning brain is really low. So you're pretty impressed when Moosehead didn't immediately kill you on sight. But yeah, Moosehead comes home and he's dragging behind him this like sort of long deer. It's longer than normal.
Long deer.
It's got a neck almost like half a giraffe. You know what I mean?
A deer.
Yeah.
You just add more ease.
Yeah, and he's dragging that by the feet. Clearly a very strong person, stronger than most. Probably that's what maybe his mutation is, but
I slide down off the roof into the soft snow beneath and run up to Moosehead, and I'm like, was it hard to fight?
kind of shakes his head. Doesn't say anything. Not big on words.
Yeah, I know this, but I'm just like walking beside him as he's bringing his prize,
And
just like the company.
yeah, and you see, like, because he's got like a gun slung over his shoulder. Oh, sorry, a bow slung over his shoulder. Guys, can I please just speak? Oh my god.
Troy.
I'm sorry.
He's got a bow slung over his shoulder, and you can see one arrow clean through the dwarf's eye. The deer's eye.
We've been playing D&D for too long. I start, because I imagine we've got a spot where we kind of like hang up carcasses and stuff so they can drain or whatever.
The salty
Don't
rack.
we all?
I start like adjusting one of the sides so it's long enough for the deer to fit.
Yeah.
For like the survival stuff, I kind of always am trying to think a couple steps ahead.
Yeah, and inside Shork, you hear like a whistle, like a, which you know means that it's time for you to come and help out.
Yeah.
So you run out, you grab your carving knife, and you get ready to skin that deer.
Skin that deer.
And you guys kind of work like a well-oiled machine. You've lived here for a while, you know. It's not a stressful experience anymore because you're aware that, I mean, you know your place, you know your chores.
Mm-hmm.
You knew instantly to start pulling up room on the meat rack, and
I knew to bother Moosehead.
yeah,
You're keeping watch. So we knew when to have everything ready for.
yeah, and things just move through like a well-oiled machine. And after you've skinned the deer,
I take the scraps to Mother, hoping that she'll be able to, make some new, like the hide and stuff to try and make some.
Yeah, it's just when you said that, Charlie went wide-eyed and looked at me, being like, "What are you doing, Charlie? What are you doing, scraps?"
Oh right. Sorry.
Yeah.
take scraps, and I'm like, can you make clothes out of this? This mane is unruly. Do you
Turn this woman into things.
do you trim the mane or do you keep it long?
I'll just leave it.
Nice.
Looks cool.
Yeah.
I look cool.
Yeah, true. You go inside to bring the pelt to Mother.
Mm-hmm.
But when you get there, something's wrong. It's almost quiet in the house, which is kind of rare. Your little brothers are pretty loud.
Yeah, they're rambunctious.
And you
This is
Redheads.
not a quiet place.
yeah. You go into the kitchen and you find Mother just like on the ground kind of writhing.
Oh shit.
And your little brothers are standing in the corner sort of watching, and you see on Bernie's face a long scratch down his cheek. Redwing has got Bernie and sort of is like holding him, and they're hiding. You can see like Mother looks not great.
No. I rush in. I look to them. What happened? What happened?
Mum's gone bad. I don't. And they're kind of like panicking. And this is like,
Is this something that happens regularly? Like, do we know she
This-
has seizures or fits or anything
this
like
hasn't
that?
happened before. And for the kids, They
I knew
won't.
this was how it was gonna start.
They
As soon
won't.
as she didn't have a name, her name was Mother, I was like, uh-oh.
Just as soon as we were near adults, I was like, oh god, they're gonna be bad, and it's gonna be bad.
Moosehead isn't a name either, okay? Just what people call their dads in the future.
Yeah.
Everyone calls them their Moosehead.
Would I yell Moosehead or Dad or Pa?
It's up to you. You probably call him Dad over Moosehead
Okay.
because he's your dad.
Dad! Dad, help!
And your dad sort of like, you guys would see Moosehead's hanging up the meat, and he hears the scream, and he sort of reacts like this is something he expected. He charges in, he grabs onto you, he's like, "What's going on, kiddo?" The fuck? It's fine.
I like him.
It's Mum. She's on the ground.
He like turns and he looks at her. You can't see any expression on his face, but he turns to you. He says, "Get your brothers out of here, okay? Upstairs now."
I grab them and I take them upstairs. I'm like, what happened to your face?
And oh, you said it to Bernie.
Yeah, the one who's got the cut on his face.
Bernie's kind of like, "Mum, I was going over to help with dinner, and she just was like bent over, and I went, 'Are you okay?' And then she scratched me in it." And he sort of grabs it, and it's not bleeding. Like, it's obviously like a not super deep scratch. It was bleeding, but it's not anymore. But he doesn't look happy about it. I mean, the same way you would be if your mother scratched you.
Yeah.
In real life.
Just
and nowadays.
like a little bit betrayed, but hurt. But yeah, the sting of the betrayal hurts more than the sting of the pain.
With all the commotion inside, I imagine me and Visitor head in.
Yeah. And you see the kitchen door is like shut now. And you can kind of hear a struggle.
I open it. I'm not.
Subtle.
I'm not a subtle woman, no. Never have been, never will.
Big
I'm a
main
subtle
energy.
woman.
But
Big main energy.
When you open it, you see Moosehead, and he pushes you aside, and he goes, like, kind of pushes you out of the door, and he goes, "Get out, we're going."
do we see...
You could probably see just through, like, his legs or something.
I,
see
like,
a
push
still
forward to have a
body.
proper look.
And when you push forward, you see Mother doesn't look the same. She's always had sort of like a sharp tooth thing. Like like one of her canines was quite sharp. But that's sort of bent outwards, and now she's got teeth growing out from her cheeks. And you can see her fingernails are like almost the same sort of situation where they sort of look almost like big sharp teeth as well. And she's gone. She's like lifeless. And Moosehead grabs you by the like mane before you can get too close.
The cat grab.
Yeah,
By
like
the
grabs you by
scruff
the
of the
back of the
neck.
neck, and is like,
That doesn't work on human beings.
and he's like, "Out!"
Fucking Christ. Okay. And I just kind of like move with wherever I need to be going.
Yeah, and he sits down as you guys leave and head up, probably upstairs too, towards your rooms.
Get our bags packed.
I sort of wait behind, just sort of near the corner of the other room, not the kitchen, and I'm just sort of like trying to watch.
Sure. Do you want to play a card?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have a hand?
You have to draw yourself a hand as well. Don't forget.
yeah.
7 cards for your hand.
I can draw feet. I really struggle with hands. Can I look at my hand? I've drawn
you
a hand
can.
as
You
well.
absolutely can.
If you have a jack, king, or queen, you can put 2 of them in front of you, and you get extra abilities with that as well.
So your king will go in front of you, and that's your bonus. It's one of your bonus cards.
Yeah.
Okay, so we all have a king in front of us.
Yeah, we do.
Cool. So that means when we are attacking, if we're being defensive in combat, we have a +1, or we can use the card, and then we don't get it anymore. But we can draw 2 cards if we do that.
And then it goes into your discard pile.
Yeah.
I'll just use a 6 because I'm not really going too hard on the stealth. I'm just sort of like staying behind. I'm not trying as hard to be stealthy.
Yeah. And I would say, what's your skill?
+3.
+3. Yeah. So I would have said that this
What's
is.
your skill?
Stealth.
Oh.
I'd say that this is probably an easy success. Like, it's not like going to be too hard for you to hide because he's obviously pretty focused on other things. So you pass that pretty easily, and you sort of blend into the background and stare at Moosehead, and you can see him. He bends over. He goes into the. Are you watching like through the kitchen door basically?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you would see him go in, and he's sort of like obviously distraught. And you don't see his face when he does this, but you do see him take off the Moosehead, probably for the first time ever that you've seen him do it. And he leans over and he gives his wife a little kiss, and then he puts the Moosehead back on. after wiping some tears off of his face to make sure to stay looking hard for you guys. And he turns around and he heads towards his room, which is in the downstairs area. He doesn't see you as he does it.
After he passes, I sort of just run up back to my room.
And you would probably have said to Shork and the little boys Moosehead said to start packing.
Yeah. Pack your bag, let's go.
Okay, what kind of things do we need? Just our normal everything?
I look for like backpacks on the shelf, so like everyone has like a backpack, and like smaller ones for like the two like younger kids. Anything you need, clothes, like toothbrush. If you need it, bring it.
Yeah, I guess it's a bit of a scramble. I'm trying to, no, you don't need that.
Yeah.
You do need two of those for the brothers.
Yeah.
Just grabbing. We've never gone anywhere, so I guess it's kind of like we've been taught how to prepare for a quick escape, but we've never had to actually do it.
If there's any like, I imagine there's not much in the way of like medical kits and stuff, like, or anything in the bathroom, but like
they have first aid kits. These are prepared survivalists.
I grab those sorts of things and put them in my bag as well.
Nice.
And if there's space in like Visitor or Shork's bag, I'd put extra things like that in theirs as well.
Yeah. I would imagine then I would wonder if my mum and dad need their bags packed for them, knowing that they can't pack themselves. Feel like as the oldest brother I'd probably worry about that and run in and see if I can pack some things that I think might be important for them.
So you would go into their room?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I would hover at the edge of the room for like a little too long and then go in.
So you go downstairs and you kind of go to the room and you stand at the doorway for a while, almost like a little bit worried because you know that your parents...
I'm not meant to go in there.
Yeah, but you open the door and you see your dad is packing a bag and he's putting a lot of like canned food and that sort of stuff. Like underneath one of the floorboards, he'd obviously kept like rations. There's like canned food, some
chips,
crackers, biscuits, chippies, that sort of stuff that you guys haven't been eating. You've been eating mostly meat.
Yeah. Pretty
much meat and like some potatoes that you've been growing for a really long time. And your dad kind of hears this and he turns around. He goes, "Come here, boy. Boy."
I just wanted to make sure you and Mum had a bag packed.
I don't know how best to say this to you. I don't know why he's like Scottish now. Fargo, North Dakota. I don't know how best to say this to you, but your mother's dead. And I know it's harsh, and you're gonna have to step up, and you're gonna have to be more of a man now.
You're the mom of the house.
I thought maybe because we'd lasted so long, you and your mother and I would be okay. But I don't think that's the case. So I'm taking you guys. I found a little camp, bunch of other kids there. I'm gonna take you guys there, okay? And you're gonna be okay. You're gonna be safe. You're gonna have to be big grown up for your boys, for your brothers, for your boys. Because I'm not gonna be here forever.
Are you coming with us, or is that?
But I'm gonna be coming with you. But it's gonna be dangerous. You'll need me. But I just don't want you to. I'll take you there. And that's as far as I'll go.
I think like Shork would make it clear that like if this was his mother he was speaking to, he'd go in for a hug. But like it's his dad, and they probably don't have that connection. But like I think he would begin to break down a little and then like shake it off and turn around and just be like, "I'll make sure everyone's ready to go."
Thank you, boy. And he goes back to packing his bag.
And I'll go back out to the main room.
And you guys are all packed, standing and on the balcony probably. Not balcony, what's it called?
Deck.
The deck. What do Americans call decks, Charlie?
Deck or porch?
The porch. On the porch. And you're looking into this sort of like, it's seemingly like endless woods. The snow is like starting to melt on the floor, but it's still pretty cold out. Kind of feels a bit tragic, I guess.
I guess I'm just ready to go. Just kind of waiting.
Yeah.
Me too, I've readied up.
Do you guys want to play a card to see how prepared you are?
Sure.
So that's
you can play from your deck or you can play from your hand.
I'm gonna do a random one.
Yeah,
Not very. Oh, and it's my unlucky one as well.
So that's a 3.
Yeah.
Oh no, unlucky doesn't. Sorry, no, unlucky only matters if it's a contested check. So it's a 4.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. A 2.
yeah, which is the lowest in this, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Great. So focused on helping my ma and pa, I guess, and my brothers.
You just didn't prepare for yourself well enough.
I've prepared a lot. I've lived a lot on my own, so I'm just going to go ahead and put a 9 out there.
Thanks, bud.
Sure.
Yeah.
You don't redraw.
Yeah, you don't need to put it back in your deck. Yo, weenie.
Right.
Because once you use all the cards in your deck, that's when you overwhelm.
Right.
So, let's just quickly get into how you play cards and skills and stuff. When you make a check, you play a card, either from your hand, which you have 7 cards of, or from your deck. If you play a card from your hand, you get to choose whichever card you want. Play a card from your deck, it's completely random. Once you've played all of the cards from your hand, then your character overwhelms. And the better card you play for your final card, the less bad things will be. And then there's other stuff like lucky suits and unlucky suits, which Lucy talked about for a bit there, but won't be relevant until we get a lucky suit.
Cool.
So
Do these go in discard once
just
they're used?
chuck them in the discard once they're used. Scraps and Quaven is like your you kind of are just relying on the pre-prepared pack essentially, because in this panic you're so worried about your family, you're so worried about whether or not anyone else is going to be prepared, you kind of forgot about yourself. So you haven't packed a lot of food, you haven't packed any
different outfits or anything like that. I've got
just the clothes on your back and a couple of maybe some PJs and the toothbrush and the first aid kit and whatever's pre-packed in that bag. Scraps, you were slightly more prepared as is. You'd already thought of the first aid kit, but even then, it's a lot of pressure. You haven't had to pack up your life like this in a while. You haven't brought anything super, helpful. Visitor though, you're prepared. You go ahead, you grab whatever you think will be important. You grab a hatchet for protection and for cutting down trees and stuff like that. You grab
Flint.
Yeah, you grab things that you think you'll need for survival.
Different preserving herbs and whatnot.
Yep.
Salts and
probably maybe grab some of the salted meat off of the rack, some of the jerky that's been sort of sitting there for a while.
Yep.
So yeah, you're feeling at least somewhat prepared.
Salves.
Salves.
Would we take the raw deer? The long deer?
Pretty big.
Sure.
The only other thing I think to bring is because I put it in the kids' bags because they're very little, so they don't want to carry heavy stuff. So for toys, I just put a soft toy in each of the bags because they're quite light, and a blanket because I imagine because they're small children they get cold easily.
Good kindling.
That's the only. That's the only other thing I think of.
Good.
The 2 basic comforts for the little children.
Good kindling. Pretty much just while you're waiting out on the porch, without saying a word, Moosehead opens the door and starts to walk into the woods.
I follow, and I make sure the kids are following too.
Yeah.
You stay behind.
I leave. No, I walk up to Moosehead, just beside him, and I say, "Was it a tough fight?"
And he's quiet.
And I fall behind with the rest of the kids.
And I kind of take one last look at the house, the only place I've ever lived or known, and then have to jog a little to catch up with the rest of my family. Single tear, saddest anime deaths. I assume he didn't even bury my mother. Holy shit, she's just in the house.
He'll be back. It's just you guys that are going to a camp. He's got to have somewhere to live. Probably. Who knows?
House is still good.
At some point during this, I would try to kind of fall to the back a bit with Visitor. Because I wouldn't want to say this to Shawk, and obviously I wouldn't want to say this to the small children. But at some point, I kind of pull her aside. I'm like, if whatever this thing that's killing people is a virus, Moosehead has it now.
Yeah.
It's the only way it would have gotten here.
We might have to be ready for that.
Yeah. I don't want to, but if we're not prepared,
How old are you? I'm asking as Charlie.
Oh, 15.
Okay.
How old are you?
17.
You'll
I'm
get
so-
on your
I'm
ages.
getting close to adulthood.
I'm 16.
For reference, which is something that I guess Visitor would know as well as Scraps, most people don't make it past 20 before they mutate. Visitor's got a couple years left,
Maybe.
at best.
We'll move forward. You and I will go between Moosehead and the kids.
I agree.
And we move up, so in case anything happens.
Yeah. And as you walk through the forest, it's a pretty terrifying trek. Even early on, like, just every sound starts to scare you guys a little bit because you haven't been here. You will have been here before, all three of you, but you haven't been here in such a sudden circumstance.
Yeah. We're not, like, emotionally prepped for it.
Yeah.
Or physically prepped.
Me.
Equipmentally prepped. Me.
And you hear, like, every cracking branch is, like, kind of a scare.
No! The branch!
You cracked.
The branch is cracked.
But also, like, even beyond, like, cracking branches, there are noises that aren't familiar to you from, like, anywhere. They don't sound right. There's lots of noises that are, like, you know, just weird, almost, like, hollow, you know, growls piercing through, or weird, like, noises that are almost like chirping, but not quite. And all of those things...
Charlie's trying to do real-time Foley, and it's going in the bin.
Those sorts of noises that just sort of have you shitting yourself. And Shork, Bernie is sort of holding onto your leg really tightly, like gripping onto your pants, just like trying to stay brave, but
Like Charlie is.
yeah, like Charlie is.
He was.
And he goes, Quaven, what happened to Mum?
She's not well. She's sick. We've just got to be big boys and follow Dad. He's going to take us somewhere safe where what happened to Mum can't happen to us. Hopefully.
So we're not going home?
Not for a while, I don't think.
Okay.
But we'll be together. You, me, Red Wing, Scraps, and the Visitor.
From the.
The Scraps, the Visitor, the Shork, the Red Wing, the Bernie,
The gore.
the Gourd,
The gore.
the Gourd.
The fucking flip-flops.
I did bring a gourd. I didn't. I only
It's
rolled.
the only thing you have in your bag. One big gourd.
Could be a
The
deck of
Gourd.
cards, could have brought a Gourd, whatever.
How long do we keep walking for?
You would have left, like, close-ish to, like, evening already. It was kind of very sudden. So you probably not long after starting walking, you would have set up camp as soon as you sort of get to a flat area. Moosehead would have just stopped and been like, here, shot down, opened up his bag, set up a tent.
Cool. I try to clear out some of the snow from underneath the tent so it's not actually fucking freezing.
And he would sort of expect all of you to be able to do your own tents. He'd go and help the kids out, but he'd expect you three to be able to work it out for yourself. So who wants to try and set up the tent?
I'll try.
Yeah?
Yeah?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think I might just go random again. I know I can only do 3 in a row.
Yeah, you
But
go.
I want to hold on to my cards until, you know... Look at him! It's a little magic kiwi, but it's only a 5.
Lucy has bird cards.
I have...
That's not a kiwi. It's a kakapo.
Yeah, I just realized immediately... Sorry, I said yeah, like I mean...
No shit!
No, the second you showed me again, I realized his nose was too little. In my head, instead of facing straight on where his nose would be down, he was looking up a bit more, and that's why his nose looked short. And then I realized that's stupid. I don't do a very good job,
No.
but I only fell by 2.
You set up a pretty average at best tent. Like, it's not going to survive conditions, you know?
Yeah, but the snow swept out from underneath, because that's what I said.
Yep.
And that's the positive.
Yeah. So you set it up, and it's very, like, saggy tent, bit of saggy tent action. And you and Visitor are going to have to sleep in that tent. And Shork. Or if Shork wants, he can sleep with his little brothers.
Oh, I get to choose.
Time to make the decision on whether or not I want to sleep with 2 little boys or 2 teenage girls. Quote from Troy, not from Tom.
You said it.
Yeah, but Troy's the one who thought it.
I think it would be up to my dad at this age. You know, I'm only 16.
Are you going to ask your dad which tent you should go in?
Do you want me looking after my brothers, or should I protect the girls?
Excuse me. We'll do fine on our own. You go sleep in your fucking boys' tent.
You know
She's
what's
a
best.
lion. You say, pointing to me.
You know what's best, kiddo. And he goes and he zips up his tent and he lies down.
I
You're alone?
I go to the boys' tent, I guess, the kids' tent.
Scraps wouldn't ask for help making the tent better, but Lucy would.
Yeah, I guess because like I've survived on my own a lot. And I wasn't living in tents. I was living in more self-built wooden lean-tos. But I could probably help build the tent up a little bit better.
Lucy failed the check.
So it's just fucked.
It's just a little bit fucked. It's not horrible. It's
just
sleepable.
saggy.
And it's just saggy. It's
Yeah.
not like
If
not
it-
a comfy tent.
If it snows tonight, it's gonna catch some snowfall and
Yeah.
fall on top of us.
Okay.
Do we need a fire, or no fire at night in the woods?
No fire at night. Sorry, he just went into his tent. He sticks his head out to say, "No fire. We don't want to alert anyone that we're here."
It's cute how he popped out like that. Just a little moose head sticking out of the
Right.
tent.
We don't want to alert anyone. I'm trying to do. Have you guys seen Fargo? No. It's
Yeah.
the guy from Fargo season 2, and he is.
What was I thinking of?
He's in the Gerhardt's family. Fargo's a movie as well as a
Okay,
show.
yeah.
And he's in the Gerhardt family, and he's the brother called Bear, and he's got a really nice voice. And I'm trying to do that, but every time I'm doing it, it doesn't sound Canadian or Fargoian, North Dakotian. But he goes like, "Family's family. You don't betray family."
You got a little Irish there, a little bit.
Yeah, that's what he sounds kind of like. You guys start to drift off into sleep. As you're trying to get to sleep, you hear noises in the woods. You hear,
Really?
Yep.
Oh no.
and a couple of other like noises, like you hear a couple like whistles, like, and you hear a low like humming noise,
Daddy.
something like that. Like maybe a
Frog.
You hear a.
Lucy bets it's one thing making all these noises because Tom fucking loves lyrebirds.
I do love lyrebirds. I'm gonna do an odds
Liar.
or evens check to see if it snows tonight. Odds or evens?
Odds, tails never fails.
Evens. Why are you happy?
Huh?
If it got odds, then it wouldn't have snowed. If
No.
it got evens, or do you want it to be? Did you want it to be against you from the start?
They were against me from the start.
Okay. I don't know how Charlie wanted to deem those rules.
I just think we
I'm not in
lost.
charge.
Yeah, I think we lost. I think it snowed.
It snows overnight. As you guys are sleeping, the tent falls in on you, and you're covered in icy cold, wet.
Ah!
I start trying to kind of like push up the walls a bit to get the snow off it so we can put it back up.
Yeah, you'd probably have to get out of the tent to rebuild it.
Yeah, scramble out of the tent.
But I start from inside to get the snow off the surface because I think it'll be easier to bat it off from the inside. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
So you're going outside of the tent, you're staying inside the tent while Visitor rebuilds it, and you get rid of the snow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Teamwork.
Ladies.
Visitor, I would like you
You're a bad woman.
draw a random card, please.
Me?
Yep.
7.
7. You look into the woods.
Do I get a plus
as you-
2 because I'm looking out?
Yeah, sure. 9. As you look out into the woods, you see, like, sort of through the clearing, eyes.
Okay.
Something's
How many?
watching you.
No, ice, it's snowing.
It's really about 4 or 5 eyes. Like
Sets
sets
of
of
eyes?
eyes.
Yeah.
Watching you throughout
Okay.
the woods.
That's too many.
So I sort of pretend not to notice at first, and then I lean down as I look like I'm still trying to build up the tent, and I sort of like open up the tent, and I'm like, danger.
Sorry, I thought you got my name wrong.
My name's not Danger.
I got dated, dumbass. Where?
Did you say it was like sort of behind?
It's like sort of like behind your tent, but in front of you. When you got out of the tent, you saw like through the clearing into that.
So if I'm facing Scraps, it's behind me.
Behind Scraps.
Behind Scraps. Behind the tent, your way.
In the woods or in the clearing?
Just beyond the clearing. In the woods.
Just beyond the woods. in a different clearing.
Mr. President, there's a second clearing.
We don't know if they're dangerous or coming after us yet. We'll wait until anything happens. Sometimes they're just animals. Animals are awake at night a lot of the time.
I peek over the tent again.
And there are no more eyes.
We're safe.
No more danger.
Let's light a
I'm going to
fire.
sleep outside tonight.
They know we know.
Do they?
When you're out in the wild, you gotta work on assumptions.
Your voice changed.
Sorry, Charlie took over for a second.
What's it, buddy?
Charlie's fucking sick of me.
I think they do. They know we know.
Guys,
I don't know what to do to that.
whisper a little louder, please. Just for the podcast.
We're done whispering.
Yeah.
Okay. And you rebuild the tent?
Yeah.
And you can have that for free.
Yeah.
Because it's late at night. Someone's
Yeah.
got to rebuild it. And you already had something happen to you.
Yeah.
And you get back in the tent, you go back to sleep. And the rest of your sleep is pretty chill. You wake up and there's a sort of thin, semi-thick layer of snow built up around the tents. But it's not too bad. It's already starting to melt.
Mm.
You guys get up and it's back to tramping through. Back to heading through.
As we're walking through,
Mm-hmm.
can I sort of keep an eye out for footprints that like got close to our camp?
Sure. Do you wanna play a card for that?
Yep.
You can play from your hand or from the deck, doesn't matter. Okay. And that's plus your 2.
Yep.
So as you kind of like look around the camp, you can't see any like super obvious signs of footprints.
Yeah.
But you do see in the trees this sort of like bits of bark that look like they've been like almost kicked off. There's sort of like little bits of bark along the ground.
Something weightier than a bird has perched upon these branches.
Weightier than a bird. George, I'm weightier than a bird, George.
We should make that a song.
Yes, we could call it weightier than a bird, except for ostriches, emus, and cassowaries.
We'll put that in parentheses.
And that's so the way it would go in the Beatles is John Lennon would be going, I'm heavier than a bird, and then the second one, Paul McCartney, would be in the background going, except for emus, cassowaries, and ostriches, I'm heavier than a bird.
It's weird that the Beatles, it's 4 people that are David Bowie.
The Rocket Man. He didn't do that one.
It's weird that Elton John is one person who's David Bowie.
And the Beatles. It's post-apocalyptic.
Sing us a song, you're the Rocket Man.
I'm not going to keep doing my bit. I know, like, rule of threes or whatever, but I'm done. Billy Joel is not David Bowie and Elton John and the Beatles.
Who the fuck's Billy Joel? Yeah, you see the bark broken along the floor and stuff like that, but you don't see any footprints.
Okay.
What's your sitch? What's your plan? What are you doing? Nothing? Anything?
Well, I do want to mention it to probably Scraps. Like you already know that we were being watched, but like I'm just like I think that last night we were being watched closer than I had thought. They were just outside the camp.
Let's hope they don't try anything tonight.
And you guys continue your walk through?
Yeah, I imagine after not very long, the small children are quite tired,
Yeah.
and I would offer to carry the youngest.
Thank you. And he hops up in your arms and goes, tiger mane so lovely to comfort my face in.
I imagine he's like sitting on my shoulders.
Lion mane. Tigers don't have manes. Tiger mane.
I mean tiger.
King Tekken.
He's sitting on my shoulders.
Yeah.
Not just like a normal piggyback, up on the shoulders.
Well, I've got a backpack on.
And the other kid, Redwing. Redwing's like you probably offered it to Redwing. Maybe you would have been like, Redwing, do you need to? And he would be like, no, I'm fine. I'm a tough kid. I'm a big kid. And he's walking probably closer, trying to keep up more with Moosehead and Shork.
I imagine after like an hour he starts to get tired, and I'll give him a turn. And I kind of like switch them out a bit because walking for like 8-10 hours is probably tiring on smalls.
It's exhausting on bigs as well. It's pretty tiring for you guys.
I'd probably, let Bernie walk for a little bit, and then I'll pop him up on my shoulders.
And but as you guys are walking along, you hear the same thing you heard last night. The mama, mama.
Makes me uncomfortable.
And Bernie's looking around like, is there another kid nearby?
Can I try and sniff it out? Can I see if I can sense what they are?
Give it a sniff.
Yeah, one of my skills is my sense of smell.
I'm gonna say this is a moderate difficulty.
That is 7 to 9.
7 to 9.
7 to 9.
A 6 plus 2, so 8.
And you can definitely smell like some kind of animal musk. You don't think it's a person making that noise. No, animal musk.
He's not a person.
Not freakish fishman musk. Anyone want to do anything off of the musk? You say you smell
I just smelt it was an animal musk, like it wasn't...
Yeah, you can't really make out like a specific thing. It doesn't smell like deer, if that helps.
Does it smell like a human?
No, it smells like an animal musk. That's why I didn't say a human musk.
Or Lion Girl over here, does she have a bit of an animal-y kind of musk?
No, you'd be super used to everyone around you scent. This is definitely a foreign scent to you. The like smell, I'm so confused about. Oh, because sharks can smell blood a mile away. I get it. And you could probably also smell some blood then.
It's definitely an animal. I smell animal blood, not human.
I don't know what to do with this information.
I mean, we keep going and we keep our eyes out, and if anything, comes at us, we'll fight it, but we keep going.
Yeah.
I'm gonna move to the... Well, I'll make sure that Scraps is cool with this too. I might move to the back of the pack to keep an eye over the entire group.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I do that.
Yeah, and as you sort of shift backwards, Moosehead's also kind of stopped ahead and he's looking around off of this animal musk thing, but he clearly can't see anything, and he sort of goes like, just gotta keep moving.
I tell Shock to stay back with me as well. Put a little more, just like so we're a little bit spaced out.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we've both got the little kids on our back, so it's just Moosehead, you and I with the kids, and then...
Yeah.
Can you two paper, scissors, rock for me?
Paper, scissors, rock. Paper, scissors, rock. Paper, scissors, rock. Okay, we got twice we tied.
Yeah, Troy won.
I won.
Troy wins.
Troy wins.
Troy wins, GORE. Scratch died.
That's the end. Yeah, you guys keep walking for a bit. And that mama becomes kind of more insistent.
Mother.
It's louder. And then I'm going to get you to do a contested check with me.
Okay.
Loose. Scraps. So you play your card first and I'll play a random card from my deck. Just for excitement's sake. Or you can play from your deck as well. It's up to you.
So do I do random or...
Either
I can
or.
do either? Okay. If it's contested,
Yeah.
do I get a +1 if I use my lucky suit?
Yeah. But it's a -1 if they're using they're using your unlucky suit.
You played an 8 of a diamond, which is my lucky suit.
It's a queen, which you can't use. That's a joker.
Yeah.
I love these
Bryce
joker
gets
cards.
shot in the head.
No, you probably don't even notice this because the joker happens. You suddenly just feel like there's a weight lifted off your shoulder.
No.
And you hear
No.
You would see this if you're staying at the back.
Yeah.
You see a small... It's kind of like... It's like a flash. It's very quick. Small furry creature grab a hold of Bernie and then leap up back towards the trees.
So I yell out, Scraps, Bernie.
I kind of look up to where he would be, and then I see if I can spot whatever is darting away.
You see in the trees, Bernie is being held up by 2 little chimp hands. The chimp is going.
They're called chimpanzee. Oh.
Chimpanzees. And the chimp is tossing Bernie around, going, Mama! And Bernie is starting to scream.
I have upper body strength, so I'm going to start kind of climbing up the trees, and I'm kind of talking to the chimpanzees, just being like, hey, can I have him back, trying just to keep it calm.
Yeah.
So it doesn't do anything crazy as I go closer to it.
Yeah. When the chimp looks down at you, it's got very human, very understanding eyes. It goes, Mama! And you see its lips form that sort of quick thing.
Yeah.
As you're climbing up towards it, you realize there's more than just this one chimp. There's quite a few of these chimps, and they look towards you and they also just go, Mama! Mama!
Oh, God.
And it's a whole group. One of them just shouts, Mama!
It's okay. I'm just gonna. And how close am I?
You're still probably pretty far away. Well, I don't know. Yeah, you could be close. I guess. Why not? I don't really want to just be like, you're far away. Climb for a little longer in your made-up head.
I wanna try very gently take Bernie back and just being like, it's okay. I'm gonna take my friend now and try to keep them really calm.
Yeah. As you go to grab Bernie, Chimp's obviously not happy with it. Yanks Bernie. Mama. And you're holding onto Bernie's leg or something?
If he gets like yanked away from me, I would let go so he doesn't get hurt.
Yeah, as he gets yanked, he sort of yelps. And then arrow whistles past and it slams into the chimp's shoulder, which makes him like drop Bernie.
Try grab him.
You can and you can go ahead and should this be a card thing? Yeah, it probably should. This would be a chicken D&D. Go ahead.
Does this count for my upper body strength?
Yeah, I'll say it will.
Okay.
And this is going to be a...
I'm scared.
This is going to be a hard success. So that's a 10 plus.
Surely, having seen and heard all of this, we'd be at the bottom of the tree ready just in case as well.
Moosehead is like charging angrily.
I assume he shot the arrow.
Yeah.
I have 3 options. I can play a fail, because that's what most of my cards would be in this situation. An ace, which is like my only high card, or a random card. Last time I used a card from my deck, so my randoms reset.
Yeah.
What's the likelihood of getting at least a 7 in a deck of cards? Not great, huh?
It's a 1 in...
I'll save the kid. It's my unlucky card anyway.
Armadillo.
My ace is very cute.
And it's unlucky.
A little bit.
Armadillos are the birds
It's
of
not
the
contested
ground.
though.
That's so true.
So I catch him, pull him back towards me, and start climbing down the tree as quickly as I can.
And as he does, these like chimps start to like crawl towards you as well. But there's a sort of few arrows whistling past. What do you guys want to do in this situation?
Well, I've got Red Wing on my shoulders, so I'm like holding him real tightly to make sure it doesn't happen to him as well.
Yeah.
I guess I go near the bottom of the tree and take out my hatchet and just get ready to fight off any of them as you get closer to sort of defend you.
Get ready to fight off Scrap.
You get back up there.
I thought you were going to cut down the tree, and I was going to... That's a lot of work.
Yeah, that would take a while.
I guess I'd kind of back up so I'm defensively behind my father who's shooting the arrows since I've got Red Wing.
Yeah, and one of the chimps, the one that got shot, kind of leaps towards you. Like, you know how chimps do that thing with their teeth, they look really scary? They go... He kind of...
I do it back. Because I've got like fangs.
Yeah. What are you?
And I try to like scare it.
Too?
Yeah. It's going to attack you.
Okay.
It's going to
Does
try.
scaring it not?
Yeah, well, sure. Give me a scare and we'll contest it.
Shit, if only you'd taken intimidation instead of me.
Why are my cards shit? You have to do random again, don't you? I'm going to 4, but it's my lucky, so that's 5.
8.
Okay, then it attacks me.
And you're unlucky with spades, right?
Yep, it attacks me.
It like launches towards you and tries to slam down its fist. What it's probably doing right now is it's probably like trying to get you to let go of Bernie. So it's probably like leaping up and trying to like punch your shoulders or something like that because it doesn't want to hurt Bernie, it just wants to hurt you.
Yeah.
So, a 7, and you are defending a 5. It's going to hit you.
Yep.
It's going to deal a random amount of damage. That's a 5, so it's 5 damage to you.
So, can I just double check something for this? I can put it on my 5 for my health, and that 5 is just gone.
Yep.
Or I could put it on my jack, and then if I get like another 7 damage, I could put it on either or whatever. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, cool. I'll put it on my jack then.
Cool. More.
The chimp kind of punches into your arm, and you tough it out, and you manage to get to the bottom of the tree.
I'm strong and
Bernie's
brave.
safe.
That's my thing.
Yeah. The chimps are now all sort of looking down at you. There's about 5 chimps total.
We let my dad take care of them, and we just hang out. We chill.
Do you want to just try that your dad take care of them? Is that your situation here?
I got a thing.
Yeah, sure.
When Scraps gets down to the bottom of the tree, I'm holding out the hatchet, like, sort of in front of me, and I'm like, swap?
So you take the kid and I'll take the hatchet?
Yeah.
If I'm attacking something, do I get anything additional with a weapon?
No, because you wouldn't be, like, proficient with it, because you're not a non-mutant.
I just say take both, and I give you
Hello.
Bread time.
Oh, it's bread time.
It's bread time. Guys.
Sorry.
Guys, sorry, it's bread time.
What's bread time?
It's bread time.
Yeah, so these chimps sort of launched at you. I'm going to do health for the chimps right now, okay? And you're going to get to see it.
Oh my god, he's drawing cards.
1, 2, 3,
Oh shit.
4, 5. So,
He's strong.
one of the chimps has 2 health. One of them has ace health, which we'll say is like the biggest looking one. 6, 7, 8. That's their health.
Okay.
So, the way that combat works is it's descriptive. You guys can choose what it is you want to do and do it. And I'll just let you know how it goes. So, who won't go first?
Do I have any weapons or anything? I know I've got Red Wing on my shoulders at the moment, but I can pop him down behind my dad.
You have your big hammerhead. That is your weapon. You
Cool.
are a mutant. Your
Thought so.
weapon is your mutation.
Yeah. Cool. I don't want to go first then.
Okay. Well, I'll take Bernie and run like a little bit sort of behind Moosehead, and just sort of like flash some snow over us and just sort of get down low,
Try stealth it out.
stealth it out,
Sure, go ahead.
and protect the kid.
Make a play. Let's say this will be... the apes are distracted, so I'm going to say it's a moderate success.
So that's
They're distracted from
7
the
to 9.
kid they were going after.
Yeah,
Okay,
because they're
Tom.
fighting the lion and everyone else who's shooting at them.
so I got a 7.
Cool. You successfully managed to hide the kids. Are you hiding with them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
Sure
the
thing.
one at the moment. I have
Just the one kid. Just
Yeah.
Bernie.
Yeah.
But they don't seem necessarily as interested in Red Wing. I almost
Neither.
called him the Jets. Lucy's ordering bread.
Sorry, I'm having bread time.
Alright. True. You want to go?
I'll get Red Wing off my shoulders, and I'm gonna run over to the tree. And Red Wing's behind my dad, so he should be fine. I run and I hit the tree as hard as I can with my head to try and like shake the tree, shake them loose.
Sure. That sounds cool. Let's go for just give me a card. Give me a card. We'll say it's well, I guess it'll be contested, and we'll just do one big monkey congestion.
Okay. 6.
5.
So I shake the tree.
Yep.
Do mini monkeys fall out? Monkey
Yeah.
creatures.
I mean, you beat by 1, so I'll say one of them falls, and we'll say that the one that falls is let's just say it's one of the random ones. Say it's lucky number 6 that
Yeah.
falls because you did 6,
I did roll a 6
and it falls down.
from my card.
It sort of hits the ground hard. I'll give it a little bit of damage. How about that? So 6 monkey falls and sort of
Yep,
lands on its neck, and it snaps and dies.
Oh, nice.
And as it dies, it whispers out one last.
Oh, we shouldn't be hurting these poor creatures.
They're
They're hurting
intelligent.
us.
Yeah. Shork's head's kind of rattling, having just whacked the tree, but he does
Yeah.
see the chimp die before Scraps continues with what they were doing.
Yeah. My turn?
Sure. I'll just say Moosehead sort of starts to get in a position to protect the kids, and he's sort of taking a more defensive stance, and he says, "Deal with it. Deal with it."
How many are on the ground, sorry?
There's 4
One
chimps,
dead one.
one dead one on the ground, and then
Okay,
there's
cool.
the one that has been shot with an arrow, which looks really weak, and that one's closest to you because it just hit you.
I'm just gonna go for it, and I have +2 to hit.
Cool. You win.
Yeah.
You win that.
Random damage?
Yeah. 4.
A lot of force.
And you were hitting the one
Yeah.
with 2 health?
Yeah, the one.
So you launch onto that chimp.
Yep.
You just rip its fucking hit. You tell me how you kill it. Tell me how this chimp dies.
It was just very much like diving at it, just trying to like get rid of these things that are hurting me and my friends. So I just kind of slashed it with my claws, and it looked like it got quite hurt when I punched my claws into it. But what really got it was when I pulled the claws out and the loss of blood.
That's brutal.
Yeah, we're playing Gore.
Yeah. And
That's
seeing
the point.
seeing that 2 of the chimps sort of up near the tops, they sort of like panic, and they pull back, and they start to swing away. Do you want to do anything to those guys that are starting to run? Anything to the runny guys? No?
I mean, if they're running, that's what we want.
Cool.
Yeah.
And all that's left is the big alpha, who sort of hoots at you like, "Oh, oh, oh,
Wow, not a
ma, ma."
Sharp A Evans.
And it's gonna leap down, and it's gonna do a big old swing at you because
Cool.
you just killed one of its own.
Yep.
A 10,
We
Ooh.
a 2. That's That's 10 damage.
And I put it on the jack that already took 5 health.
Cool. So that's the jack that's gone.
Oh, sorry. Is that 10 total or 11 total?
It's 11 total.
I put it on my 5.
Okay, the 5 is gone. And yeah, that fucking
Yeah,
hurts.
fucked up.
That shit clonks into your like arm, and you feel it sort of almost. It's probably not broken, but it definitely feels like bruised at least.
Yeah.
It fucking hurts, and it's a big ape arm.
Yeah.
And this one's way bigger than the other little guys who were saying mama. This one's like a big alpha, obviously.
I'm probably going to try and swing my head to hit this.
Sure, go
8
off.
that's just hit my friend. And that's an 8 plus 2 to hit.
It's a 10, which is a tie. Do you have any interactions with diamonds?
Or spades?
No.
Or clubs?
No, my lucky and unluckies are spades and hearts.
Well, let's just say I've got nothing in the rules, but we say if it meets, it beats all the time. So you can go.
Okay.
Nice.
I just, go again, or?
Attack,
Damage, random.
which has to be random. 8 damage.
8 damage
on
on
the
the
alpha.
ace.
Ace is 14 health. So it's got 6 health
Maybe not.
left. Yeah. You want to do anything, or you still hiding?
You can stay hiding if you
I'm
want.
gonna just stay hiding.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Alright.
And I'll dive at him, because even though I'm very hurt, I would, always try to put on the
you're
brave.
brave.
I'm brave, and I'm strong.
Alright, go ahead. Try to hit this chimp.
Do you get to add for your bravery?
I don't think I get an extra point for being brave, but I get +2 to hit.
And that's a 2.
Yo,
That's 10.
Bye-bye, chimp.
You leap forward and you just ravage this chimp to freaking death. It is not. It's not in a good state of affairs.
Neither.
And as you sort of start to rip into it, it's like hooting at you the same way, just to try and intimidate you. It's going like, hoo, hoo, ma, ma, ma. What are you gonna do?
Step on its neck.
You whisper from the snow. Oh, you should have called yourself like Chalky or something like that, because you're
Chalky.
pale and white. What's the name of the white guy?
No, his name's Charlie because he's pale and white.
What's the name of the white guy with the white boy? The white boy movie?
What are you talking
The
about?
kid who's really white.
Casper?
Twinkie.
Called like not Casper. I'm not fucking stupid. Boy who really.
Albino guy, maybe?
You should have been Lucent, and you should have just been a trans character. We don't have enough trans representation at season.
I searched boy who
We don't
really
know
white,
that.
and it came up with Boku no Hero Academia.
I really like Charlie.
Powder is what I'm thinking of. He's not really a boy, actually. He's kind of a grown-up. Either way, that's Powder, is what I'm thinking.
And that's been Powder.
You should call yourself Pat. Welcome back to Powder at Night.
I don't try to intimidate it back or anything. I'm just focused on getting it dead.
Yeah.
And once the quietness has settled, after it stops yelling and the rest of them have run away, I get up and I keep walking.
Thank you for listening to Season Quest. You can find us at Season Quest Pod on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I was gonna make a joke, but I just couldn't wrap my head around one, so I think we're just gonna have to end it there.